The next example says, suppose that you decide to buy a car for $50,000, including taxes and license fees. You saved $8,000 for a down payment. The dealer is offering you a choice between two incentives. Incentive A is $4,000 off the price of the car, followed by a 4-year loan at 5.25%. Incentive B has no cash rebated, but free financing, no interest over 4 years. What is the difference in monthly payments between the two offers, and which incentive is the better deal? So if we focus in on incentive A first, we're buying a $50,000 car, but this time we saved $8,000 for a down payment. So no matter what, if we take the $50,000, we should subtract out that $8,000 down payment, because that down payment is cash that we're paying up front. We don't have to borrow it. So if I do the 50,000 minus the 8,000, that tells us that $42,000 is what's left. It's what we have to figure out how to pay. So if we focus in on incentive A, they're giving us $4,000 off the price of the car. So if you ever see advertisements for like $4,000 rebated or cash back, what they're really doing is taking the price off of the car. So that means I need to take that $42,000 that we had after we put our down payment and subtract out $4,000 more. So if I take the $42,000 and subtract out $4,000, that gives me $38,000. So that $38,000 is what we're going to actually borrow, or that is our principal. So now we know we need to find the monthly payment. The formula for monthly payment is that payment equals P times R over N, all divided by 1 minus 1 plus R over N raised to the power of negative NT. So we just figured out that the principal for this incentive is going to be $38,000. We still need the rate, the N, and the T. So they tell us that it's followed by a 4-year loan, so our T is 4, at 5.25%, which when we divide by 100% to get it in decimal form, gives us 0.0525. They're telling us that we're finding the monthly payment, so our N equals 12. So when I substitute this in to the formula, I'm going to have 38,000 times 0.0525 divided by 12 all over 1 minus 1 plus that rate, so 0.0525 divided by 12 raised to the power of negative N, so the 12 times T, the 4. Then I'm going to come over here and plug it in my calculator. I'm going to hit the fraction button. I have 38,000 parentheses 0.0525 divided by 12. Hit the right arrow and close my parentheses. I'm going to go down to the denominator, 1 minus, open a set of parentheses, 1 plus, 0.0525 divided by 12. Hit the right arrow and close those parentheses. Raise it to a power, so hit that a to the power of b. Open parentheses, negative 12 times 4. Close the parentheses and hit enter. So I find that that payment is $879, and then it goes 0.423085. I'll round it to the nearest cent. So I would say that this monthly payment is $879.42. Now I need to go through the same process for incentive B. So in incentive B, there's no cash rebated. So that tells us that our principal is still that $42,000. So here I'm going to be able to dive straight into that payment formula. And there we know the principal is $42,000. Now they tell us that it's free financing, which means no interest. So that tells us that the interest rate is 0%. And when we divide 0 by 100, we still end up with 0. We're still making monthly payments, and it's over 4 years. So if I plug my numbers into this payment formula, I'm going to have the principal is $42,000 times the rate, 0, divided by n, all over 1 minus 1 plus that rate over n raised to the power of negative n times t. So if I come over here and plug this in my calculator, I've got my fraction, 42,000, parentheses, 0 divided by 12, hit the right arrow and close my parentheses. I go down, 1 minus, open the parentheses, 1 plus, 0 divided by 12, close those parentheses, and raise it to the power of negative 12 times 4. Whoa, but notice we got undefined. We can't do it. So what that means is that we can't use this payment formula, and we can't use it because there's no interest. So this monthly payment formula only works if there is interest. So we need to use some logic here to figure out what's going on. If we can't use that interest formula because there's no interest, then all we have to pay back is the principal. Right? So if we're reasoning through it, if we're using logic, we only need to pay back the principal. Right? There is no interest. Oh. So what we're going to do is just split it up into our payments. We need to pay $42,000 over 4 years. So if you think about how many payments we're making, we're going to make 48 total payments because we're paying for 4 years every month. So we can do that 4 times 12. So we're doing that principal divided by the number of payments. And if we do that, $42,000 divided by 48 gives us $875. So we found the monthly payments. Now we need to actually answer the question asked. So they asked us what is the difference between the monthly payments. So to find that, we're just going to subtract. We're going to do the $879.42 minus the $875. And if we do that, we're going to get that the difference in monthly payments is $4.42. And then they also ask us which incentive is the better deal. Because we're paying them over the same time period, right? They were both 4 years and we were paying monthly each time. We can just compare the monthly payments. So because this lower monthly payment was with incentive B, we can say that incentive B is the better deal. So that means no interest is actually better than getting $4,000 back.